We start with breaking news on the Chiefs report today as offensive tackle Orlando Brown and the Kansas City Chiefs have failed to reach an agreement on a long-term contract. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you joining us on today's show. We will break all of this down and what this means for the Chiefs in just one moment. Before we do, want to make sure that you are subscribed to the Chiefs Report with Chiefs content each and every day, including breaking news like this right here. We will cover it like no one else will. So go ahead and subscribe now. Turn on those notifications so you never miss a moment of the Chiefs Report, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. So let's start out with this tweet from Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network. He said earlier, the Chiefs franchise tagged offensive tackle Orlando Brown Jr.'s agent Michael Portner tells me the sides weren't able to reach a long-term deal. KC offered Brown the highest signing bonus and APY, that's average per year, on a 6-year deal, but the Browns team did not decided there wasn't enough security over the life of the deal. So that's what this comes down to, that they didn't feel comfortable that there was a lack of security there. Here's more of the reporting on this situation. Portnoy said, "We got really close. We dealing with the Chiefs, and we understand their position as well. I'm not going to let these athletes sign a flashy contract without the substance or security there." So, you know, I look at this situation, and it's disappointing that nothing could get done here, but I'm not surprised that we didn't see a deal get done. We told you earlier in the week that all signs pointed to that these two sides were just too far off when it came to getting a deal done. That although the Chiefs want to bring Orlando Brown back, and I believe that Orlando Brown wants to be a Chief, right now they're on just two opposite ends of the spectrum, and there wasn't enough time to come together and find that middle ground, it would seem. Here's more from NFL Network's Mike Garafolo reporting today. The Chiefs were willing to fully guarantee money through next season, but Orlando Brown's camp wanted more security. So no deal for Brown as expected. He can earn $16.7 million on the franchise tag this season if he signs it before week 1. More on the franchise tag with Brown here in just a second. Let's go ahead and look at the offer. From what we've been able to piece together with the reporting going around, here's what the offer was from the Chiefs to Brown. It was at least $23.02 million per year. It was also $30.11 million in a signing bonus and a 6-year deal with the highest signing bonus and average per year. So that's what the Chiefs put to the table, and Brown's camp ultimately declined. Now, we'll dive into more of this in just a second, but want to get the reaction from the kingdom. Tell me what your one-word reaction is to the Chiefs not getting Brown's deal done. This is our pinned comment today. You're about to get an ad break. Take advantage of it. Let me know how you feel. Give me one word to describe the Chiefs not getting a deal done with Orlando Brown. Now, the thing that is so puzzling about this, and more so on the Chiefs' end of things, is that you traded for him over a year ago, Orlando Brown, knowing that you would have to pay him, that he was not going to be cheap, that he was looking to go to a contender to play somewhere for a long time. You gave up first-round draft capital, and you don't do that for just a 1 or 2 year rental. You're looking at bringing a guy long-term. And on top of that, it wasn't very long ago, and I think it's still in our memories of the Super Bowl when the Chiefs lost to the Bucs. They were without their starting tackles in that game and got bullied, got dominated. And Patrick Mahomes was thrown on the ground, and I think we all said to ourselves, we never want to see that type of event happen again. So the Chiefs went forward with getting a deal done for Orlando Brown to protect their franchise quarterback. And now the future remains uncertain. Here is the highest paid offensive tackles per year in the NFL, and you can see the Chiefs were willing to put the money for Orlando Brown among the elites in the league. It was just that guarantee that had some question marks. And the numbers with Orlando Brown last year for the Chiefs were pretty solid. His PFF overall grade was a 75.2. He allowed 4 sacks, 12 hits, and 37 pressures on Mahomes that last season. And for the most part, did what the Chiefs expected him to do. So now we wonder, going forward, what is next for Orlando Brown and the Kansas City Chiefs? Can the two sides come together, and can all of this be amended? Can they all come together and get along and see Orlando Brown play a long time for the Chiefs? Well, here's the situation as it stands right now. Orlando Brown could sit out the start of training camp, and we've heard reports that he might even miss all of it. And week one, when the Chiefs begin the season, that's not out of the question either, that Orlando Brown might not even play week one. So this is not over yet. This is not a situation where Orlando Brown just plays on the franchise tag and then we go over this again next year of some sorts. I mean, he wants the deal done. He wants to see something happen from the reports that we've been told. Now, veterans are going to report to Chiefs camp July 26th, and that would be an official holdout at that point. In OTAs, if you miss OTAs, for example, in mini camps, then if you get fined, you can get that money back. The way the new CBA is put together, if you miss any portion of training camp unexcused, then you can't get that money back, no matter what new contract you may have. So the franchise tender, not bad money, $16.7 million is what the Chiefs would have to pay Orlando Brown if he signs that franchise tender prior to week one. We're going to show you some other options for the Chiefs at the left tackle spot potentially in just a moment. But before we do, got to know from you guys, will we see Orlando Brown play week one? Is this going to drag out for a bit? A long holdout? I'm very curious to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section. Type Y for yes, type in for no if we're going to see Orlando Brown play week one for your Kansas City Chiefs. Today's show is presented by Rumble, and we're talking Chiefs all the time over on Rumble with free and uncensored content. And on Rumble, you're going to find everything from sports, news, politics, tech, business. They're not canceling people over there. They're having a great time at Rumble. So go ahead and head over to Rumble now. If you haven't subscribed to us there already, go ahead and do so and check out all the great stuff that's going on at Rumble. Rumble.com/ChiefsTV. We got exclusive content there that's not available on YouTube. Rumble.com/ChiefsTV now. So here is the Chiefs depth chart on the offensive line as things stand right now with Orlando Brown in the fold at left tackle. You can see he's playing alongside what looks to be a pretty decent offensive line. And if Orlando Brown is not available, if he isn't back in time for week one, I would think that Lucas Niang would be the in-house option to slide over and move to that left tackle spot. But at the end of the day, no matter what, whether it's in-house or a trade or free agency, Orlando Brown is still the very best option for the Kansas City Chiefs. No ifs or ands or buts about it. If they don't have Orlando Brown week one, this team is going to be significantly worse. They need him there. He is their best option going forward. Might not be cheap, but they need Orlando Brown in this system. Here's some free agent options at offensive tackle. Some familiar names. Eric Fisher, former Chief, remains a free agent. He spent last year with the Indianapolis Colts, and if you recall, when he was in Kansas City, mostly played that right tackle spot. Former number one overall pick from the Chiefs, but last year in Indy, he played left tackle. So there is some experience there playing the left tackle spot. Dwayne Brown, also an option. The former Seattle Seahawk, although just a few days ago, he faced gun charges from an arrest at the LAX Los Angeles airport. He could face up to 1 year in prison. And then there's Mitchell Schwartz, who this week he announced that he was officially retiring from football. Hasn't played since 2020 and underwent back surgery back in February of 2021. And we just haven't seen at all how he would respond on the field to that back injury. So some question marks, not great options by any stretch of the imagination compared to what you have in Orlando Brown that's available on the free agent market. So before we go, be honest with me. Will the Chiefs trade Orlando Brown? If some deal does not get done, if Orlando Brown's camp continues to not be happy with the Chiefs and can't find that middle ground, will we see a trade? Let me know. Type T for true, type F for false that the Chiefs will trade Orlando Brown. Personally, I don't think they're going to trade him. I think that eventually some deal will get done. Brett Veach will find a way to bring him back long-term to Kansas City. But what do you guys think? Will he trade for Orlando Brown? Happen? T for true, F for false. Thanks for joining us on the Chiefs Report. Give me a follow on Twitter at Tyler Jones Live, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.